The Brooklyn Nets have gotten themselves back into contention in the Eastern Conference by becoming the hottest team in the NBA. Riding a 10-game winning streak, we're seeing the return of the Slim Reaper at his best, and head coach Jacques Vaughn figuring some things out with his lineups that should give Nets fans some confidence that they could make a deep run in the playoffs. From an offensive standpoint, what Kevin Durant is doing on the court this season is just about unprecedented. From a field goal and scoring standpoint, only Karl Malone has approached this type of efficiency and volume scoring. But when you factor in KD shoots almost 10 times as many threes, no one has seen anything like it. Interestingly, he's shooting less threes this season than all but 4 other seasons of his career, 3 of which were before the modern era began. And when you see how unstoppable he is in the mid-range, you can't blame him for being greedy with the spacing. There's nothing fancy with the offense when he gets a ball screen, and they prefer to have one player on the right side in the corner and 2 guys filling perimeter spots on the left. They'll try and get at least 2 shooters on the perimeter to keep the defense honest and set the screen above the three-point line to give him a runway to attack the big who switches onto him. Notice how much room he has to play with his food before pulling up. Despite a 7-footer in good position, his high release point isn't bothered by this pressure in the slightest. This time, they've got 3 fighter ballers on the perimeter, with the springy Claxton setting the high screen. They don't force a switch, but do catch Pascal Siakam doing a little river dance, opening up the mean crossover back to the right. Again, look how much space he's operating with due to the shooting. He's got his pick of wide open shots to choose from, and by hopping off both feet into the jump, he can simply elevate over anyone in the league. His set point is a foot over his 7-foot frame, and he's got enough touch and control to add a little extra arc and have it fall no problem. You can see how easy it is for him to turn the corner with solid screens set by Claxton, and he knows from this moment on that there's nothing the defense can do to influence the result of this shot. The Nets have been getting him to the elbow for catches, something LeBron made popular in his prime, and letting him start his attack this close to the basket seems patently unfair, as there's no time or space for help to get there, as if that would matter anyway. The spacing gets more compact with these sets as all 5 defenders huddle around the paint, but when he's only 2 short dribbles away from the rim and he can elevate and fade from 8 feet out, it just kind of feels cruel to the defense. And there are some ways they get KD attacking that caught my eye. I love when he's setting off-ball screens, which confuses the defense big time as Curry cuts through, allowing Durant to attack a closeout to his favorite pull-up spot where Jrue Holiday can only hope he misses. This step-up screen for Seth Curry draws KD's man's attention as the roll man provides a little gravity and opens up the cut to the wing and another closeout to attack. He loves to hop into shots for maximum lift, add the fade to it, and it's impossible to stop. Here's a nice mini weave for the Nets run to whip the ball around the perimeter, giving Harris a 2-step cushion to shot fake and drive. Kelly Oubre correctly won't leave his man, but just the appearance of a screen being set by KD distracts him, and now KD's got a free run to the rim for an easy dunk. If it feels like the Nets offense isn't doing too much besides spacing the floor and letting their talent shine, you're not wrong. And with these 2 guys leading your offense, you want them to do as much work as possible. There's only one ball on the court, and they should be handling it. Just like Manscaped should be handling all your ball grooming needs. That's why you must get Manscaped's Performance Package. It's vital to keep things tidy on your face and in your more sensitive areas. And their Lawnmower 4.0 can take care of both. It's cordless and waterproof, so use it in the shower and you won't piss off your wife. But Manscaped's Performance Package has tons more. Their Weed Whacker defends you all up in your face, sending those annoying nose and ear hairs back into the stands. And the Crop Reviver has cool aloe vera to keep your balls dishing and swishing. I think KD could use some Manscaped since he's been fumbling his balls at an almost career high. So avoid those pesky defenders in your life. Instead, use my code BBALL to save 20% off your order. But I'll also call Manscaped and tell them to give you 2 free gifts for a limited time: the Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. I wear these all the time, and I wouldn't trust anyone else next to my Performance Package. So click on the link below, use my code BBALL, and you'll see how Ben Simmons has been passing his balls around the floor as the lead assist getter on the team. I like this dribble at KD in the corner action into a backdoor cut for an easy bucket. I'm sure the defense is worried about this being a handoff, as KD can be lethal turning the corner into the middle of the lane. So watch how KD's man cheats up to stop the handoff, and KD hits him with a jab step to explode to the hoop, and Simmons throws a one-handed bounce pass perfectly. It's remarkable how often you'll see defenders get this much higher than KD as Simmons dribbles over, and I guarantee we'll see a lot more of this connection the rest of the season. The Nets are among the league leaders in baskets from cutters to the hoop, and with Simmons out there, it's easy to see why. On this 21 series, Simmons keeps it, then dribbles at Kyrie, freezing his man and allowing the sweet bounce pass for an acrobatic layup. Here's similar spacing for KD. They don't even need to dribble at him to catch the defense off guard, and another dunk on a pass from Simmons. And what was shaping up as a pin down into handoff to KD ends up a backdoor cut that's easy to throw because the defense thinks they can give Simmons tons of space since he's a non-shooter, but it just lets him dice the defense up. One set the Nets like to use more than any other is a double high post of horns. It's a great way to utilize the non-shooting, great passing Simmons at the elbow, as KD shows another great backdoor cut, as Kyrie shows a split screen and Drew tries to cheat up. No pressure on Simmons allows him a large window to make the pass. With major shooters on the left side, the defense can't afford to screw anything up. Kyrie gets the pistol action of a pin down into handoff, kinda, and Kyrie is one of the best and most creative finishers in the NBA. Here's another version of pistol out of horns, where Kyrie gets the handoff first, then the ball screen at the elbow, getting the ball easily to the block and finding Simmons for his patented but increasingly awkward right-handed jump hook. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and I want to ask a little favor. I'm getting a little bit close to 1 million subscribers. I'd love to get there a little bit quicker, so hit that subscribe button if you like this, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and stay tuned for lots more coming up all season long. The big difference during this winning streak is how the starters have been playing together. Before the win streak, they had been a negative 2.4 net rating, playing relatively poor on both ends of the ball, but after Simmons came back from a brief knee injury, they've completely turned things around with a plus 14.7 net rating. Their offensive rating hasn't changed, but let's look at why they've been doing well. This started out promising, getting their 3 best players involved in pistol action, but Simmons breaks it off to attack one-on-one, inexplicably luring Trent Jr. out of position. Great find by Simmons for the open Kyrie jumper. More Simmons at the elbow as they flow into a double pin down for Royce O'Neal. No one wants to switch off of KD and Kyrie, so it opens up a driving lane. Defenses continually feel like they can ignore Simmons to help on the others, and Claxton gets into the passing game with his nice dime. If you want to know the value of the gravity that KD and Kyrie command, just watch how both of them cut towards the hoop, sucking Simmons' man into the vortex as he gets an open lane for that righty running hook of his. I mean, the gravity is comical at this point, as John Collins is so intent on calling out the double screen for Durant that Simmons gets a free run to the hoop for the nifty reverse. And this might have been organic/freelance offense, but I dig it, as Claxton and Kyrie set a double flare screen for KD, and this turns into a handoff for Kyrie, who draws 3 defenders and finds the lob to Simmons. As for the defense, this starting unit's defensive rating has plummeted, and a key stat is the opponent three-point shooting, going from elite to suboptimal the last 10 games. There is a little bit of fool's gold with this stat, since the last 10 opponents aren't teams that really splash the ball that often. While 2 of these teams are in the top 10 in three-point percentage, barely, 4 of them are in the bottom 10. But the key to this lineup is the switchability, as Simmons switches twice in a row to blow up the main action to Bogdanovich. This makes Kyrie a better defender since he knows the play, and a third Simmons switch negates any advantage, and Irving shows off some good footwork to heavily contest. Back screens can put a defense into severe rotations, so the ability of Simmons to switch these is important. He then takes Kyrie's man and hustles well to get in front. Now we've got good closeouts to get to shooters, contesting into a brick. Claxton is another guy who can switch on to guards due to his quickness, quickly blowing up this handoff action with good pressure on the shot. Then you throw Durant into the mix, who's as long and mobile as anyone in the league, and forcing switches ends up being suboptimal for the offense. The first switch blows up this pin down the left side for the Pistons. Royce O'Neal takes away the drive and keeps his hand up, and now you've got those long arms of Durant making a decent shooter into a bricklayer. Combine that with good preparation and scouting for this group, and you'll see how willing they are to help off the corners when poor shooters are stationed there, preferring to take their chances with these guys hoisting them up. This allows lots of help on the driver into the lane and invite the exact shots they want the offense to take often. Over the past 10 games, this starting lineup has been pretty average in terms of offensive rating, which is a little concerning since they've got both Kyrie and KD playing together. However, in that same span of games, no 5-man lineup has been better defensively, which is such a far cry from their defensive issues during this era that perhaps this is something they'll be able to hang their hats on come playoff time. And at the very least, we can enjoy some of the most scintillating shot making from one of the best players we've ever seen in the NBA.